Hi friends! Welcome to our NQESH Review Questions Part 1 by yours truly, Aris S. Barago. A friendly reminder, according to the memorandum issued last June 7, 2022, the schedule of the online test administration of the NQESH shall be on July 31, 2022. Today is June 20, 2022, so you still have 40 days to prepare before the examination. And tomorrow is June 21, 2022. It will be the start of the NQESH mock exam per batch. And tomorrow, the test link will be available for Region 6, 7, and 8. And the mock test or mock examination will be scheduled on June 26, 2022. Likewise, Regions 9, 10, 11, 12, and Caraga region will receive their linked on June 28 to 29, 2022 with the mock test scheduled on July 3, 2022. And for Regions 1, 2, 3, 4A, Mimaropa, Regions 5, NCR, and CAR, the link will be received on July 4 to 5, 2022, and the mock test will be on July 10, 2022. And the remaining regions will receive their link for the mock test on July 11 to 12, 2022, with July 17, 2022 as the schedule for the mock exam. And this will be by batch. And your link will be received through your DepEd email address. But then you will receive the actual link for the actual examination on July 25 to 26. So that is a friendly reminder to all our qualified test takers. So good luck. And for today's blog, I will be presenting to you 10 questions, 10 review questions. And I will be reading to you the questions, and after that, I will be presenting to you the DepEd order where I got the questions, so that you will be guided by these policies. So let's start. For question number 1, as a principal, one of your non-teaching personnel requested for flexible working hours from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Will you allow his or her request, and why? A. Yes, because that will complete 8 hours of work per day as stipulated in DepEd Order number 21 series of 2018. B. No, because that is beyond the flexible work hours as stipulated in DepEd Order number 22 series of 2018. C. No, because flexible working hours starts from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and ends from 4 o'clock p.m. to 6:30 p.m. as stipulated in DepEd Order number 23 series of 2018. And D. Yes, because all non-teaching personnel are entitled to flexible working hours, especially in this time of pandemic. Okay? What is your answer? The correct answer is letter C. No. Because flexible working hours starts from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and ends from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. as stipulated in DepEd Order number 23 series of 2018. So according to this question, there are two options. You should look for the exact DepEd order and of course the time frame. And of course the reference is DepEd Order number 23 series of 2018. entitled Implementation of the Flexible Working Hours for the Non-Teaching Personnel, which starts from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and ends from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Let's proceed to question number 2. This term is defined as the age-appropriate, culturally relevant program to teaching about sexuality and relationships by providing scientifically accurate, realistic, non-judgmental information according to UNESCO 2009. A. Culturally relevant sexuality education. B. Culture-based sexuality education. C. Sexuality education program. D. Comprehensive sexuality education. What is your answer? The answer is letter D, comprehensive sexuality education. The reference is DepEd Order number 31 series of 2018, which is entitled Policy Guidelines on the Implementation of the Comprehensive Sexuality Education. And it is defined as age-appropriate, culturally relevant program to teaching about sexuality and relationships by providing scientifically accurate, realistic, non-judgmental information according to UNESCO 2009. Next number 3. What are the allowed authorized deductions allowed for the payment of an individual employee's contributions or obligations? Roman numeral number 1, BIR, PhilHealth, GSIS, and Home Development Mutual Fund. 2. Non-stock savings and loan associations and mutual benefit associations. Roman numeral number 3, associations or provident funds organized and managed by government employees for their benefit and welfare. Roman numeral number 4, licensed insurance companies. Here are the choices. A. 1 only. B. 1 and 2. C. 1, 2, and 3. And D. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What's your answer? The correct answer is letter D. Our reference is DepEd Order number 14 series of 2019, implementation of the 5,000 net take-home pay for the Department of Education personnel for fiscal year 2019. So here are the authorized deductions. BIR, PhilHealth, GSIS, and HDMF, non-stock savings and loan associations and mutual benefit associations, duly operating under existing laws and cooperatives which are managed by and or for the benefit of government employees. C. Associations or provident funds organized and managed by government employees for their benefit and welfare. D. Government-funded institutions authorized by law and accredited by appropriate government regulating bodies to engage in lending. E. Licensed insurance companies and thrift banks and rural banks accredited by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Next question. Question number 4. Simultaneous transfer, reassignment of regional directors, assistant regional directors, schools division superintendents, and assistant schools division superintendents once every blank years. A. 2 years. B. 3 years. C. 4 years. D. 5 years. What is your answer? The answer is letter B, 3. Our reference is DepEd Order number 16, series of 2019, amendment to DEX Order number 7, series of 1999, which is the policies on the selection, appointment, and transfer, reassignment of DEX regional officials, which states that there shall be a simultaneous transfer, reassignment of regional directors, assistant regional directors, schools division superintendents, and assistant schools division superintendents once every 3 years. Let's proceed with question number 5, which is characterized by an official business. A. Official travel wherein the transportation expenses and miscellaneous shall be funded by DepEd or by any other government entities. B. Official travel wherein the transportation expenses and daily travel expenses shall be funded by DepEd or by any other government entities. C. Official travel wherein the transportation expenses, salaries, and other benefits shall be funded by DepEd or by any other government entities. And D. Official travel wherein the transportation expenses and miscellaneous expenses and daily travel expenses incurred, including salaries and other benefits while on travel, shall be funded by DepEd or by any other government entities. What is your answer? The correct answer is letter D. And our reference, of course, is DepEd Order number 22, series of 2019. The guidelines on official local travels in the Department of Education, which states that official business refers to official travel wherein the transportation expenses and miscellaneous expenses and daily travel expenses incurred, including salaries and other benefits while on travel, shall be funded by DepEd or by any other government entities. Let's proceed to the next question, number 6. A school ID with the first digit assignment of 7 is a blank. A. Private school. B. Public DepEd Elementary School. C. State University School. D. Philippine School Overseas. What is your answer? The correct answer is letter D, Philippine School Overseas. Our reference, DepEd Order number 27, series of 2019, Guidelines on the Yearly Collection of Data Information Requirements and Validation Processes. So these are the standard first digit numbering for the issuance of school ID. For public DepEd Elementary School, starts with 1 and 2. For public DepEd secondary schools, including senior high schools, starts with 3. That is why our school ID is 301340. For private schools, it's 4. For public integrated schools, 5. For state universities and colleges and local universities and colleges, that is 6. And of course, for the question, the answer is 7. It is for Philippine School Overseas. So you should familiarize yourself with these digits. Next question, number 7. The 5 domains of the Philippine Professional Standards for school heads collectively comprise blank strands. We are referring here to the number of strands that refer to specific dimensions of school leadership practices. A. 31, B. 32, C. 33, and D. 34. What is your answer? The correct answer is letter D, 34. Of course, we have the reference DepEd Order number 24, series of 2020, which is the National Adoption and Implementation of the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads, which states that there are 5 domains collectively comprised of 34 strands that refer to specific dimensions of school leadership practices. Next question, number 8. The guidelines on the implementation of learning and development, L&D, for non-teaching personnel in DepEd in view of the COVID-19 pandemic is issued anchoring on the following guiding principles, except A. Developing and nurturing competencies at the heart of the HR systems through its learning and development. B. Ensuring employee and office effectiveness. C. Providing vertically articulated education for enhanced non-teaching services. And D. DepEd Learning and Development acknowledges and encourages different modes of learning. So what is your answer? The correct answer is letter C. So if you will focus on the question meticulously, you can see that all of them are focused on providing learning and development practices. Whereas letter C is beyond those practices since it focuses on formal education, specifically formal education on the graduate level. So therefore, this is an intervening item. The reference is DepEd Order number 40, series of 2020, which is the implementation of learning and development for non-teaching personnel in the Department of Education in view of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is anchored on the following principles. The department is committed to developing and nurturing competencies at the heart of the HR systems through its learning and development. And B, the learning and development plays a big role in ensuring employee and office effectiveness. And lastly, DepEd Learning and Development acknowledges and encourages different modes of learning. Question number 9. The Minimum Performance Standards and Specifications, or MPSS, aims to drive the construction of well-designed school buildings that 1. Ensure efficiency on the use of government funds. 2. Consider anthropometrics, ergonomics, thermal comfort, illumination, ventilation, acoustics, and color. Comply with the law. 4. Contribute to improve learner performance. 5. Make a lasting impression on the community with regard to the importance of education. So A, 1, 2, 3, and 4. B, 2, 3, 4, and 5. C, 1, 3, 4, and 5. And D, 1, 2, 4, and 5. So what is your answer? The correct answer is letter B, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 1 is not included since it focuses on the economics of education and not particularly focus on the minimum performance standards and specifications for school buildings. And of course, a reference, if you would like to know more, is DepEd Order number 6, series of 2021, which is the re-establishment of minimum performance standards and specifications for DepEd school buildings using alternative construction materials. And I think I have discussed letter A on my earlier vlogs, focusing on school buildings, and school facilities. And letter B, of course, it should comply with the law and contribute to improve learner performance. And D, make lasting impression in the community with regard to the importance of education. So let's proceed to the last question for today. Number 10, the movement of a DepEd employee to another department or agency on international body or organization which is temporary in nature and limited to employees occupying managerial, professional, technical, or scientific positions is called blank. A, detail. B, reassignment. C, secondment. D, transfer. What is your answer? The answer is letter C, secondment. A reference is DepEd Order number 8, series of 2021, which is the revised signing authorities for administrative and financial matters in the Department of Education. So we can see here that the difference between secondment and details is that secondment is the movement of a DepEd employee to another department or agency or international body or organization which is temporary in nature and limited to employees occupying managerial, professional, technical, or scientific positions. So let's say you are a manager in a certain government institution, let's say DepEd, and you will be transferred to DOST for a temporary nature. So that is secondment. While detail is a temporary movement of an employee from one department or agency to another, which does not involve a reduction in rank, status, or salary. So let's say you will be transferred to the division office and you will be detailed there to help the curriculum implementation division or other department, particularly in DepEd. So that is detail. So I hope you get something from these questions, and watch, like, share, and comment for my blogs, and we will be posting review questions so that you will be prepared come July 31, 2022. Thank you and good day. Thank you for watching Aris Barago Vlogs. Watch, like, comment, share, and subscribe.